What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Bat Flip, the OmaVols. Feels good to say, really good to say. And the Homa Hogs. A lot of great stuff going around Twitter. You love to see it. Tennessee is headed to the College World Series for the first time since 2005, knocking off LSU yesterday, 15-6, to complete the sweep in the Super Regionals. I'm Landon Raby. With me, Dylan Taylor. Go check out our sponsors real quick: Tennessee Tap House, Hound Dogs, and Blue Water Climate Control. Here is a quick word from our good friends at Blue Water Climate Control.
People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something, and it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water Climate Control.
All right, let's get right into it. Tennessee is moving on to the College World Series, like I said, for the first time since 2005. It's 16 years for those of you who are bad at math. Been a long time. And, I know we saw a lot of bat flips and stuff yesterday, and I'm sure people said, act like you've been there before. But it's been 16 years since we've been there. So that is not really valid. We haven't really been there before. So here we go. We're bat flipping our way to Omaha. I think you said it was a 12-hour drive from Middle Tennessee, so that's probably 15 for me.
I've seen some people, in East Tennessee, just on Twitter. I've seen anywhere from 13 to 15, which it's about 12 for me. But factoring in stopping, getting gas, which I'll have to do every 30 minutes probably. Then you're looking at an overnight trip.
I saw Earl and Judy yesterday. They are going to be there. Big surprise there. They're going to be in Omaha. I'd love to go. And I don't think I'm going to be able to make it until maybe that last final series. If they make to that championship series, I kind of have to.
I think I have to drive.
Yeah, got to bite the bullet and do it. I'm sure they're gonna have a ton of orange in the stands. In Tennessee orange, not that ugly Virginia orange, who we play the first game of the College World Series. But yeah, get the sweep over LSU, a really good baseball team. Throw Palmineri at early retirement, beating them 5 games in a row this season. I mean, you heard the saying, it's hard to beat a team twice. It's really hard to beat a team 5 times. But, this shows you how special this Tennessee team is. A grinded out performance on Saturday. Chad Dallas shoved it on the mound once again, getting his 11th win of the season with a career high 12 strikeouts. And then Sean Hunley doing what he does, slamming the door. And then Saturday, it was bombs away for Tennessee. 6 home runs, 5 different players. It was hot, but the bats were hot. The chili was hot. There was just a lot of hotness going around that Lindsey Nelson Stadium. The atmosphere was electric. I got to be there yesterday. I wasn't able to get there on Saturday. But man, what an atmosphere. Vol Nation just continues to show up. You give them a little ounce of winning, and here they are. And mounds and mounds of orange and white. And I think there was like 20,000 people. I guess that counts the stadium and the watch party. Right. Man, what a great experience that was to be a part of that this weekend. And to get that win, I told Plowman yesterday, I was like, you're not going to have to worry about getting everything out tomorrow because we're going to finish it up today. And Tennessee baseball made me look good. So what were your kind of overall thoughts on this weekend?
Well, I mean, 20,000 fans, and if you look at LSU Twitter, none of them are supposed to celebrate when anything good happens. So apparently we're classless then. So great atmosphere. I mean, 90 degrees both days. I think it's cooking there, and then everybody. I don't think it affected the noise level at all. I mean, I think it just made everybody a little bit crazier. Maybe some sun poisoning, something like that, nothing like that to get the boys jumping. But I mean, it's just first game. It's kind of what you've seen from the early season edition of this team, kind of but before the bats were really jumping, like we saw 20 or last year before COVID shut everything down. I mean, it was a bomb fest every game. First game was kind of a throwback a little bit. I mean, you win that one 4-2, and it's kind of more of a grinded out game, like you said. But yeah, I mean, then Saturday or Sunday, sorry, got my days mixed up. I mean, yeah, you've kind of seen what we talked about with this lineup just interchangeable everywhere throughout. I mean, it didn't matter where we were at in the order, everybody hit. So it was kind of a little nerve wracking there at the start, just with Rucker going back and forth with LSU, just carrying us on his back early. But yeah, I mean, everybody got involved, and it's kind of what you've seen here on the second half of the season with this team, where yeah, you've got good pitching, but as long as you're hitting like that, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jake Rucker kind of putting us on his back there early. And, it felt like he was just going to throw that whole pulmonary retirement party by himself. Um, but then, like you mentioned, everybody kind of caught on and it got contagious. And, balls were flying out. It seemed like every single inning. And somebody did mention on Twitter, they asked Kendall Rogers, who is, I think, the founder of D1 Baseball, they asked him, does he think Tennessee will have success in Omaha because, Omaha, I think it's AD Ameritrade or TD
TD,
Ameritrade,
yeah.
TD Ameritrade, it is a bigger ballpark. And he said, I think Tennessee will be fine living in gaps because those gaps are a lot farther. I think Tennessee has a lot of athletes to run around the bases, if it's hitting those gaps. And a lot of those balls yesterday, I know Jordan Beck's home run is going to be out in any ballpark in America.
Yeah, I mean, it's crossing the street back there. That's 380 in the corner.
Yeah, he hit it to the summit over there across the river. Yeah, that one's gone. Evan Russell's is gone. Drew Gilbert's is off the wall, and it's over that right fielder's head. And the rest of those are in a gap. If they're not out of the park, they're in a gap. And so I'm not really worried about – I think Tennessee's going to – maybe it takes a couple out of those, but it wasn't like those balls hit yesterday were just barely over the fence. They were hit a long ways, and, I think most of those are probably over the fence anyway, but if not, they're in a gap or they're hits. So I think Tennessee's going to be fine, even if they're not hitting the balls out like they were yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I mean, when I saw that, first thing I thought was kind of back to my point just a second ago, is it made me feel a little bit better because our staff has one of the top ERAs in the country, been one of the best pitching and bullpens combined throughout the whole year, playing in one of the smallest stadiums. So extending the fences out, that's just going to help our staff even more, I feel like. And kind of what I said a minute ago, our team has shown, yeah, we can win scoring 15 or go back to Texas A&M 21 runs a game, but they've also shown, just like you saw, 4-2, they can win the slow, grinded out, doubling the gaps, the biggest play of the game. Then not a grand slam or a 3-run bomb. So, I mean, people are asking that, like, yeah, is that a worry? But I think that just makes me feel even better, honestly. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's just a complete team. And Arkansas losing yesterday, I thought after we won yesterday, I was like, Tennessee has as good a chance as anybody to win a national championship. Now, when Arkansas got eliminated, I was like, we really have a really good chance to win a national title, as good as anybody in the country. As good as Vanderbilt, Texas, Arizona, Stanford, all those teams that are moving along. I think Tennessee has just as good a chance to win a national title as they do. You mentioned that, LSU kind of had to earn everything yesterday, and that's true. This whole weekend, they had to earn everything. Tennessee only walked one batter, struck out 25. We had more hits than they did. More home runs, of course. We had 6 yesterday. They had 4. They had 1 the night before. We got more people on base. I mean, we're just a better team this weekend. It wasn't like, Tennessee got lucky. When you beat a team 5 times, that's not luck.
Yeah.
Tennessee's damn good. And I think LSU is a really good baseball team. They got 2 guys that are probably going to be first-round draft picks when it's their time to be in the draft, and Trey Morgan and Dylan Cruz, who are some of the best prospects I've ever seen. But Tennessee was able, those guys are going to get theirs, and they did yesterday. But that kind of grinded out win when you're not able to hit one over the fence. Tennessee was just fine. Those were just long outs with some of those guys. So I think Tennessee beat a really good baseball team, and they're heading to Omaha. We talked to Kivett recently, and he was talking about how that regional really prepared them for postseason play for the rest of the postseason. Having three teams in that regional that could have, been a super regional team. Getting past them, it prepared them for a super regional. It's preparing them for a College World Series. I think this team is dangerous. And you mentioned that they don't have to do it with the bats; they can do it with pitching. And I think this is a complete baseball team. And look out, because there's going to be a lot of orange. It's going to feel like a home game, kind of like Hoover was, I'm sure. So I'm excited to see kind of where this team ends up. I 2 more weeks, I guess, of talking baseball, and then it's kind of over. I'm not ready for it to end, but it's going to end, with a win or a loss, and I hope Tennessee ends with a win, and brings Knoxville a little nice little trophy, some banners. Already getting some banners, hanging in the, I guess, a year, but it's put on the outfield. So yeah, just a solid season, the 50th win of the season, and locking our way to Omaha. What do you have anything else kind of on this weekend? Maybe somebody who surprised you, or somebody who had a really good weekend.
I mean, not really. I think it's just the usual suspects that stepped up. I mean, you had Dallas. I mean, Blade. I know he gave up 6, but I'm fine with him doing that when you're up 15-6. Then I mean, yeah, pound the strike zone. Like there's
Right.
no point in walking guys, stuff like that. I mean, you give up. One, like you said, one of the bombs is to Trey Morgan, who I mean, yeah, he's going to make a lot of money playing baseball. So I've got no problem with that. But that's from the staff there. I mean, the lineup, it's the same guys that's kind of been carrying us all year, especially the last couple of weeks. I mean, Jake Rucker broke out in a big way. I think coming into what was it, the Saturday game, it looked like he was really struggling, just kind of pressing. It's like if you threw him a breaking ball down and away, it was tough for him to pick up on it. And then his last 2 at bats, he rips 2 doubles, and then I mean, we know what he does on Sunday, just striking fear into the LSU ace, Landon Marceau, which
Ace.
he's good pitcher, yeah, but kind of the same situation with not exactly all the way like what we saw with Kevin Kopps and Dave Van Horn, the national coach of the year, Dave Van Horn. Just want
Yep.
to throw that out there too. Yeah, not quite to that spectrum, but yeah, I mean he kind of looked gassed the moment he stepped out on the mound. He wasn't really what we've seen all year. No disrespect to him, but yeah, I mean only other thing is like you said, putting more year marks up on the wall out there. Hopefully it's a new wall. Hopefully it's a renovated wall with more bleachers behind it that fans can be behind on camera. You can hopefully have close to. I mean, I don't. I'll be the first to admit I've been kind of one of the first ones. Like, yeah, we got to add stands. We got to add stands. I know where you can, but it's, I want to get it up to about 10,000. But I don't know where you put them with kind of where the stadium's at right there. So just if you can't build it, extend it out further, just build it higher. I guess that's my only solution.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number. I'm sure there's 4,000 or so. It says 4427 was our attendance yesterday, and it was loud. And I can't imagine of how loud it would be if we could fit as much as Mississippi State is fitting like 20K in their
Yeah.
stadium. I don't know how you make that work, but man, it would be something if you're able to pack that in, because Tennessee is really just hung on to this baseball team. I mean, they've just kind of been like a leech. As soon as they started winning, everybody was on board, everybody was in the boat, and they've hung on for this long, and hopefully get 2 more weeks of good quality baseball, and we'll see where Tennessee ends up. But man, like you've already outgrown the stadium. When you didn't really have the tickets that you thought, that's why you did it over the phone. You didn't have the tickets that you wanted to sell. So you sold some standing room only, which basically you just put people in a line around the stadium where people were walking.
They had to
Um,
make it look like they tried.
yeah,
They
yeah,
they thought they thought they had a solution.
yeah. I mean, you kind of Vol Nation's going to show up. You win, they're going to show up. So don't underestimate them. We're going to show up in numbers, and so you got to build us a bigger stadium. That's the only way to fix the problem. Build a bigger stadium.
Yeah, and can I give credit to you real quick? I mean, I think you were the originator of the. I put it out there on Twitter. I think the originator of the block party idea. I mean, all these other people claiming credit out here. You're just the dark knight in the back. Too humble. So I'll do it right here on the show,
I
ladies and
appreciate
gentlemen.
that. I
The
appreciate
creator
it.
of the block party idea.
Hey, it was great. I got to watch the game before. I got to watch the Virginia Dallas Baptist game before. So, I mean, whoever you want to give credit to, it got done. So that's all that matters in the long run. So shout out to Danny White and the athletic department for doing that, getting it started. Spencer Smith asked, who would you start game one in Omaha, Dallas, or Heflin? It's Chad Dallas.
Yeah.
He's your guy. He's your game one starter, Chad Dallas. Cheese, shoving it. Yeah.
As long as he's in a Tennessee uniform, yeah, it's Chad Dallas. I was surprised we went Tidwell on Saturday. I didn't hate it. I was just I figured it would kind of be a move of keep doing what's worked for you. I mean, Heflin's proven time and time again this year that he can do that. It's just kind of when he's hit his mark, you've got to go to the bullpen then. So, I mean, that was a little surprising, but yeah, there's no debate for Chad Dallas. I mean, as long as he's on this campus before he starts making money playing this game, then yeah, he's your Friday night, your game one, whatever.
Yeah, I think the Blade Tidwell is just kind of like, I mean, he's your second best pitcher. Let's be honest. Like he's your second best pitcher. And it's I think the last couple of weeks they've been doing it, especially in postseason play, been pitching Blake Tidwell in game two. And the dude's he's hit 98 on the radar gun. Like that's hard to hit. I know Dylan Cruz and Trey Morgan got theirs yesterday, but I thought he pitched pretty well. I think he had 7 strikeouts. So, solid outing for Blade Tidwell, and the way he's come on the past couple weeks, I think he's as good as anybody in a Tennessee uniform. And, I think they have a lot more trust in him. And when you need a win, he can get it for you. And then when you need to stay alive, I think he can do that as well. So I like Blade Tidwell in this situation. Also, Heflin can be a bullpen guy. He's been that throughout his career at Tennessee. Been a starter as well, but he kind of had that role early in his career as being a bullpen guy. So, he's somebody that you can use in situations like that. So, I like the way that they got things right now. It seems to be working. So whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Yeah,
we've had Ross Kivett on the past, I think, 2 weeks. So we're getting him on this week too. You got to keep that train rolling. Don't want to mess with any bad juju there.
Yeah, I mean, like you said there with Heflin, I mean, that's probably the role he would have taken this year. If it's not, I know we talked about Jackson Leith being hurt earlier this year.
Absolutely.
He's probably got, in my opinion, he probably had that third starter spot. So you've got a Will Heflin that kind of, I mean, he could go 5-6 innings out there. I mean, that's what he's doing in starts. No reason he couldn't be that same kind of weapon for us. And you've seen it the last, I don't know, a couple of weeks up to a month now with Camden Sewell, a guy that I think's always had it, but now he's getting more of his shot and running with it. I think he's got a .42 ERA within the last stretch. I saw the stat the other day, but it's just something.
Yeah, I
ridiculous.
think 21 innings without giving up a run.
Yeah,
in postseason play.
It. And I mean, you've got a lefty that you can bring in Heflin then, and a righty with Sewell. So yeah, I mean, if you want to go that route, I don't think anybody's going to argue that route.
Yeah, I think they got plenty of arms in the bullpen. I liked yesterday. Pete Durkay got that standing ovation. You had Redmond Walsh come in to get those final 2 outs. I thought that was really cool to see, to send some seniors off. I know they're not done playing baseball in a Tennessee uniform, but they are done playing inside Lindsey Nelson. So that was really cool to see. And Durkay's dad, I think, was tearing up a little bit. It was just really cool to see yesterday. And sorry, I'm a little hoarse. My voice might crack every now and then. I've been yelling for the past couple days, so a little hoarse from this past weekend. But hey, we got a win out of it, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
So Virginia gets the win over Dallas Baptist today. So that's the side of the bracket Tennessee's on. So they will play Virginia in their first game. I think it's scheduled to be on Sunday. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it's on Sunday. They don't have a time exactly in place for that. But I think it'll be Texas, Virginia, and the winner of the Mississippi State Notre Dame game will be in that. They kind of on that side of the bracket. And then you got Vanderbilt, Arizona, Stanford, and who is that other team? I'm forgetting somebody.
Arizona, Stanford. I can't think of it either. I mean, Vanderbilt, yeah.
Obviously. NC
NC
State.
State.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, you beat Arkansas. And what a game that was.
Yeah, after losing 21-3, 21-4 to game one.
Yeah, and to come back just
ridiculous.
Did freaking Arkansas just waste all? Did they crack all their bats in that first game? I mean, what happened?
I mean, we know their coaching is just far superior to everybody else.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
as I've been told this year.
Yeah. Let's do something that we've never done before and throw our player of the year out there to start a game where he hasn't started a game all season. Yeah, that's what I would do. Worked out for him.
I feel bad for Kevin Cobbs. I mean, I've had nothing against him all year. I mean, I really not even. I mean, some Arkansas fans on Twitter obviously were going off all year, and I saw one tweet that they were the fastest to delete all those original tweets. So they're the best in something this year. But yeah, I mean, Tennessee, the odds-on favorite now. I mean, earlier I think it was when regionals started, they put out the odds. I think we were second behind Arkansas, second or third. There's Arkansas and Vandy there. But I mean, we're going into a major tournament now, probably the odds-on favorite. I mean, I don't like hearing that. I mean, I do because, yeah, it's Tennessee. We're at the top now and something. But, yeah, I'm always more of an underdog person. So, but just keep winning. I don't care what the odds are.
Yeah, and looking at the field, I mean, yeah, Vanderbilt beats you in a 3-game series. But, other than Arkansas, I don't see a team that I'm like nervous to play. Like, I'm excited to play. And, Ross Kivett mentioned to us, and I was like, we don't fear anybody, and you can in this league. And, yeah, that's true. But, like, Arkansas is a team, you're like, yeah, you can be beating them, but they got a good enough lineup where you can play with them. And they also have the player of the year usually in the bullpen. But they decide to use him up as a starter. And, I don't want to say it cost them the game, but it definitely was a questionable move by Dave Van Horn. And didn't come out on the right end of it. And you're going home because of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was, to me, before on the show, that was the head and shoulders best team in college baseball this year. And I think they were there, and you had Tennessee and Vandy right there. I mean, Texas worries me just because they're hot so quick and can put you out of the game like that. And obviously, Vandy worries me because, yeah, I mean, they're a complete team, but they're staffed with Rocker and Leiter. I mean, you beat up on Leiter earlier this year, but the kid's still going to be a top 5 draft pick. So you know what you've got going in against him. So I'd say those are the two teams that worry me the most, probably.
Yeah, I mean it's the best of the best in this College World Series. I don't think there shouldn't be a ton of blowouts. If there are, hopefully Tennessee is on the right end of those, and we get just more baseball. Let's just keep playing, just keep winning, just keep playing more baseball, and see what happens at the end. Man, I would love for this team to go as far as they can. I'm hoping for a win, but I'm trying to like keep it cool. I'm not like, even when we were playing LSU, I was like, I'm not going to talk trash because first of all, I don't want people to bring it up to me after the fact, but
I'm scarred. Yeah, I'm scarred.
I don't want to jinx anything. That's like a girl at work who's like, do you know Tony Vitello? I was like, I don't know him personally, but yes, I know he is. She's like, you should hook me up with him. I'm like, no, I would never do that in a million years because you might mess with this program that I love so much and I would hate you for it. So no,
Absolutely
I'm not going to do anything.
No. Tony, we keep him locked up until after this year.
Yeah, he's married. He's married to Tennessee baseball.
Yeah,
he doesn't need a girl in his corner right now, especially somebody that I know. I don't know a single girl that would be good enough for Tony Vitello right now.
Our king.
Yeah, our king, the Tiger King. Let's go MVP real quick. Daddy hat. There's a ton of daddy hats everywhere. It's awesome. Awesome. Love it. And dude, Arkansas, I meant to say this a second ago. Arkansas jinxes themselves. Putting OmaHogs on your stadium, ugh,
Yeah.
that's a bad look.
If you want to say it, that's fine. If you want to make merch with it, that's fine. But putting it somewhere that permanent on your stadium and in TV range, I mean, you're seeing it every pitch behind there. That's a tough scene when you've got OmaHogs behind home plate as a ball flies 4 feet off your Golden Spikes award to keep you from Omaha. So yeah, I'm all for saying it. Let's not put it on our stadium though, because then that's a tough scene when you're out.
I'll wear it on a shirt. I don't want it on our stadium.
Yeah.
Let's again, bad juju.
Keep it
Just
out.
don't jinx anything. Let's keep it
Keep it
cool. You said who did you say you had for MVP?
MVP. I'll go. I mean, it's got to be Jake Rucker. I think just for that game alone, just because you like you said, it's so hard to beat a team 2 times in a row, 3, 4, let alone 5. I mean, every win over LSU is kind of like, but when are they going to get theirs? When are they going to get theirs?
Mhm.
So going in, I mean, even seeing Blade is on the mound, then it still just really was worrying me. But I mean, Jake, I don't know that you win that game without Jake Rucker. I'll put it that way, without him starting off so hot there. I mean, because a lot of the bombs we saw from Tennessee, a lot of those runs were, we just had all the momentum right then. The fans were into it. They were crazy. I don't know if all that happens without Jake Rucker. So after previously struggling a little bit, he stepped up in a big way. And I don't know that maybe you go Monday and you win 15-6 or you win 20-0 then, but without Jake Rucker, I don't know if you know.
Yeah, Landon Marceau didn't give the Landons of the world a very great outing yesterday. I think he's a really good pitcher, but first team All SEC going. I think he ended up 7-7 on the year, and Chad Dallas didn't get it. Trash,
Yeah.
Absolute trash.
Hey, Dylan Cruz representing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. For me, I had a feeling you're going to go Jake Rucker, so I stayed away. I think he's completely worthy of that. I mean, he started that yesterday. That was all him. It was contagious after that. For me, it's Jordan Beck. I think he was due for a big series and came up really big. Especially yesterday, he had that three-run home run that was hit in the. Yeah, I don't know if it landed in the river, but it had to be pretty damn close.
That's a Jordan Beck home run. When Jordan Beck gets a hold of one, it's like no other. I mean,
well,
we
that
talk
one
about
that Dylan Cruz hit off Blade Tidwell, I was like, man, that was hit
Yeah.
far on 3-0 pitch. I was
Right.
like, that was hit far. And then Jordan Beck hit one probably in the same exact spot.
Evan Russell knocks the crap out of it. Pav does. Luke does. But I don't know. It's just something. Maybe it's the flow. Maybe it's just he's a big athlete. Something about Jordan Beck when he gets one. Maybe it's the way he pimps it after. I mean, you've seen Gilbert, but when Jordan Beck gets one, it's one you just got to sit back and watch.
Yeah, it's so subtle. His bat flips are just kind of like a toss. Like here you go.
And excuse me.
Yeah. And then you got Drew Gilbert who freaking hits a laser out in the bullpen and just he's throwing his up in the air. He doesn't give a crap
He's
what
got
anybody
the most
thinks.
violent swing I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
Oh yeah.
You've seen, you think back, like Ken Griffey had just a smooth swing. You've got like iconic, like Big Poppy. If you didn't see his face, you know whose swing that was. Drew Gilbert, I will always be able to pick it out because he swings like the baseball personally insulted him.
He hates it. And kind of all Tennessee hated it yesterday. I'm going to go MVP real quick. I'm going to go Jordan Beck. Or I already said Jordan Beck. Sorry, but I didn't tell you. He was 5 for 9, 4 RBIs. He had 3 runs. But yeah, I think he was just due. Another guy that really kind of impressed me this weekend was Connor Pavoloni. Came in not really hitting well. I saw some people on Twitter saying, he's not really having great at bats. Maybe we should try somebody else. But he came through when you needed him. He delivered with a big home run. And, hopefully that's able to get some of his confidence back for this College World Series. Because I think they need everybody 1 through 9. And, you got to see a lot of those guys yesterday hit home runs and get hits and stuff like that. But I don't think any was bigger than Connor Pavoloni having a really good day at the plate.
Yeah, and he's been your guy all year. I mean, we saw Greer have success when he came in, but yeah, I mean, Pav's been beat up all year, still been grinding it out every day. Had a couple shots down to second base that I think he definitively does that better than Jackson Greer does. Not a knock against him, but Pav's got a rocket, and I mean, that yeah, it was partly due to him oversliding the base, but that rocket that Pav threw that really strike him out, throw him out, double play that changed the momentum of that game, kind of sealed it for you. That's why you, even if he's struggling a little bit at the plate, that's why you have Pav in there.
Yeah, and he's so good defensively. I mean, I know he had an error on Friday, but yeah, he's so good defensively. He blocks a ton of balls. Is a really good athlete behind the plate. So you got the right guy out there starting. I think all the pitchers are comfortable with him. Having Cheese was huge the other night, not just because he pitched really well and had 12 strikeouts, but the fact that he had a lightning delay and still came back and absolutely shoved it up LSU's butt
Yeah,
was incredible to see. Because a lot of major league players, if there's a lightning delay, they ain't come back out.
no, they don't do that. Especially it was what 45 minutes to an hour. It was a pretty long delay. I mean, yeah, it
Yeah.
was, and he came out. He looked even. I mean, I think the home run was kind of the rain. You lose grip, leave that one up, and the rain only benefits hitters. I mean, it's not going to help pitchers at all. So uh, I think he calmed down, looked even better. And I mean, his slider, even Paul Maneri noticed it in his going away party. His slider was just biting there at points. I mean, when he's got that pitch working, nobody's going to hit it.
Yep. Yeah, just a solid series from Tennessee, and they're heading to Omaha. Hopefully everybody's able to get there if you can. Be loud, be proud. Wear your orange, wear your white. Omaha Vols. Like you said, don't put it on the stadium. Do you have anything else to kind of add before we get out of here? I know time's kind of ticking a little bit.
If you want to pay for my gas, I'll drive out there. I have no problems at all. Anybody out there, hit the Venmo up. I'll listen to plenty of podcasts. I'll listen to the bat flip, listen to more important issues. You'll pass the time pretty quickly. Just say
There you go.
help a boy out.
I like it. I like it. Well, that's kind of all we got. We will get out of here. We got another show coming up, so stay tuned for that. Tennessee's heading to Omaha, first time in 16 years. And again, we're a baseball school. Yeah. Dub said, let's keep that broom out for the next episode.
Yeah.
I'll leave it here for more important issues. We'll be
Don't
live tonight at 8, so it'll stay right there. So stay tuned for that. Guys, we'll be back next week, hopefully talking some more Tennessee wins. That's all we got. We're out.